Uzbekistan-Top 8 places to visit. Uzbekistan is one of the fascinating countries in Central Asia. It is home to 4 significant UNESCO World Heritage Sites and 6 UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage listings. Another 30 are waiting in the wings on the tentative list. 1. Tashkent. Tashkent is the capital city of Uzbekistan, and is an ancient city on the Great Silk Road from China to Europe. Little remains of the ancient city after the 1966 earthquake and earlier modernization work following the 1917 revolution. It is the largest city in Central Asia with a population of 3 million people. This large metropolis reflects the historical development of the country, from its architectural monuments of Oriental design to its Soviet-planned street layout and its modern glass-high buildings. The area of modern Tashkent was already settled in the 5th to 3rd centuries BC. It has been destroyed several times in history. The most recent damage came from the earthquake in 1966, when many of its ancient historical monuments were destroyed. Thus, Tashkent today is a modern city with a wide variety of restaurants and shopping opportunities. 2. Samarkand. Samarkand literally means stone fort, or rock town, had a central position on the Silk Road between China and the West. In the 14th century, Timur, Tamerlane, made Samarkand the capital of his empire. It was added to the UNESCO World Heritage List in 2001 as Samarkand, Crossroad of Cultures. Samarkand today is a lively city that cherishes its traditions. Archaeological excavations have revealed a history which dates back 3,500 years. The town of Afrosiab was founded in the 7th century BC. The area was continuously inhabited and served as a melting pot of diverse cultures. It was conquered by Alexander the Great and Genghis Khan, was the sumptuous capital of the Timurid Empire, and played an important role in the development of Islamic architecture and arts. 3. Bukhara. The historic center of Bukhara has been an important base for Islamic theology and science for several centuries. Its well-preserved city center was recognized by UNESCO as an exemplary medieval city. City planning, urban, economic, and scientific development in Bukhara had a large impact on the Islamic world in the Middle Ages. For 7 centuries up until the 16th century, it was the largest Islamic center for the study of Sufism, with hundreds of mosques and madrasas, or learning places. World-renowned scholar Avicenna was born near Bukhara and grew up there. 4. Khiva. Khiva is an important and often overlooked historical site on what was once the Great Silk Road. Famous for its long and brutal history as a slave trading post sandwiched in between the vast Kyzylkum and Karakum deserts, Khiva is now a quiet, sleepy oasis that awaits busloads of tourists instead of caravans of captives. Khiva is located in the western province of Khorazm in the Republic of Uzbekistan. It is the first UNESCO World Heritage Site in Uzbekistan, was inscribed in 1990, noting its importance in the exceptional heritage of ancient Silk Road traditions. Ichin Kala, which literally translates as the inner part of the old city, is surrounded by thick mud walls. It contains 51 monuments and is, although around 250 households still make their home inside, it feels more like an open-air museum. It is here in Khiva that the scholar Ai Khwarizmi, the father of algebra, was born and introduced algorithms to the world. 5. Idarkal Lake and Narota Mountains. Idarkal is a semi-artificial lake created as a result of Soviet agricultural planning. On the site of Idarkal, there was once a small seasonal lake that used to dry up completely in hot summers. In summer 1969, the high waters of Sir Darya overflowed the irrigation reservoir dam and water flooded the lowland beneath. Today the lake covers an area of around 4,000 square kilometers, stretches for 250 kilometers in length, and sits right in the middle of the Kyzylkum Desert. It is a unique place to sleep in a yurt surrounded by desert and ride horses or camels. 6. Shahrisabz. Shahrisabz is the hometown of Timur, and everything in Shahrisabz is connected with his name. This flourishing city of the Timurid Empire is the birthplace of the great medieval conqueror Emir Timur. It has exceptional monuments from 14th to 15th centuries, though its history dates back over 2,000 years. Its historic center retains the layout from the original Timurid city planning. Emir Timur ordered the Ak Saray, the White Summer Palace, to be built, as well as his own grave. Tamerlane's summer palace was one of the highlights of the Timurid architecture. These days you can still see the remains of the palace's 65-meter-high monumental gates. 7. Termez. Termez is right along the border with Afghanistan. Afghanistan can be seen across the river from various points on the roads around the town. Old Termez dates back to the 6th century BC, was conquered by Alexander the Great and was an early center of Buddhism. In later times it was a center of Islam and was later destroyed by Genghis Khan. In the 6th century BC, Termez was already known to the Achaemenids, and it was later conquered by Alexander the Great. The famous Moroccan traveler Ibn Battuta wrote of its lively bazaar, fine buildings, canals, and gardens. It is still possible to see the ruins of Kara Tepe and Fayaz Tepe, two important ancient Buddhist monasteries, plus the Kirk Kais fortress, and the archaeological museum is one of the best in Central Asia. 8. Fergana Valley. The Fergana Valley has been and still is an important crossroads for different religions, cultures, and nations. Split between Uzbekistan, Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan, it shows the diversity on each side. In Uzbekistan, the Fergana Valley is home to the important medieval Silk Road stops of Andijan, Kokand, Fergana and Namangan. Its horses were known as heavenly horses and highly valued in China for several centuries. The founder of the Mughal Empire, Babur, was born in this region. Fergana has fascinating stories to reveal and maintains its old traditions of pottery and silk production which make for interesting excursions.